All right, so today we're gonna be getting into triconasana, aka triangle pose. Yeah, all right, things are getting weird. Triangle pose, triconasana. It is complicated. There's a lot going on. We are strengthening the legs. We are kind of doing a spinal twist. We are engaging the core a lot. There's lots of different little things that it's important to pay attention to in this pose. So hence why I'm making a video, and probably hence why you are watching this video right now. So if you want to join me, let's get on the mat. Alrighty, triangle pose. So let's go ahead and start to heel toe our feet nice and wide, about 3 feet or everybody's kind of different, so I like to say one of your legs width apart. Toes going forward. And then let's do hands on the hips at first. So we're kind of in this power pose, kind of a modified star pose. And then let's start to turn our left toes to the front, or maybe it's the back of your mat, wherever you are. And then let's look down at the feet. So it's similar to Warrior 1 and Warrior 2, where you want to be lining up your heels. So front heel in line with the back heel, or front heel in line with the back arch. I like to be heel in line with the back arch. Some people kind of like a little bit more space, I think, and heel with heel. So whatever feels good to you. Front leg is staying nice and straight, pressing down through the feet. So kind of engaging those inner thighs again, lifting up through the crown of the head. And then let's bring those arms up like we did in Warrior 2. By the way, if you haven't seen Warrior 2, probably gonna put a link somewhere in this box. All right. Energy through those fingertips like you're got some wings. And then we're gonna keep this leg straight. So whenever you're feeling ready, inhale, lengthen up through that head. Make sure that tailbone is tucking underneath the body. And then we're gonna reach forward here. So you're reaching forward with those left fingertips, and your right hip is gonna kind of come back, and your left hip is gonna come in. So it's kind of a hinging action happening here. And then we're gonna float, take your time, float all the way down. Hands are coming into a T. Remember to keep pressing through those feet. Try not to put the hand down or just lightly tap it. And then here we're really trying to engage the core. So actually let's start from the base up. And sorry if I'm just holding you here in this awkward position, but bear with me. So pressing through the feet, engaging all the way up to the hips. Right hip is opening up to the sky, left hip is rolling under the body. And then we come to the spine. So start to reach through the crown of the head, lengthening away from the hips. And the tendency here is people want to collapse into this position, and we don't want that. So try to find that lightness, that brightness. And if that just doesn't feel accessible to you right now, place a hand on the shin, or you can take one of these handy dandy blocks here, place the block, and lengthen. But make sure if you're using your shin or your block that you're still really trying to engage in the core. Maybe even take the right hand, take it underneath those left ribs, draw them forward, arms up nice and long. And then your gaze can be wherever it feels good on your neck. So a lot of people teach straight up, but sometimes your neck just isn't ready for that. So looking down, maybe at your big toe or your hand, is totally fine. Or looking straight ahead. is totally fine, keeping that neck nice and neutral. The only thing we want to be sure to be aware of here is we're not collapsing the head down, because that's not so great on the cervical spine. So keeping length. And then another trick here to kind of help open up that chest area, just take that right hand, tuck it behind the back, and then you can really feel that sensation of the right shoulder wanting to open up to the sky. And then I'm a pretty good example of this. I have hyperextension in my knee, so I don't know if you can pick it up on this video, but my knee is hyperextending backwards. So I have to be aware to keep a gentle bend in my knee, so it keeps it nice and strong, and I'm not giving into that bend so much there. And that's gonna help strengthen my ligaments and keep my knees nice and healthy for a long time. Beautiful. All right, now to come up, look down at your big toe of your left foot. Take a nice deep inhale. Press down through that front foot and come all the way up. Whew, release, maybe give a few arm waves. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So, turn those left toes forward, coming back to star, maybe hands on the hips. Then turn the right toes out. Front leg stays nice and long. Back leg is long as well, but you have to focus a lot on this front leg because it's gonna wanna bend either forward, or for me, I like to bend backwards. So keeping it nice and long and strong. Heels in line. Torso facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale, arms up, floating out. Gaze is forward at first. And then again, reach forward with those right fingertips. Left hip pops out, right hip comes under. Float down, take your time. Find your version. So hand on the shin, or maybe you can reach all the way down to the floor, but if you reach down to the floor and your body's doing this, try to find the shin or find the block, because that's gonna be more beneficial for you for a longer time. Beautiful. Push through those legs. Left hip opens up to the sky, right hip drops underneath the body. Reach the crown of the head away from the hips, lengthening through the spine. And then maybe tuck that top arm behind the back so you can really feel that rotation of the upper torso. Gaze is up, down, neutral, whatever feels good. Just make sure we're not collapsing in the neck. Beautiful. Then maybe look down at that big toe. You can even place the hand on your hip. Inhale, press through that right foot. Come all the way back up. Turning the toes forward. Heel toe, those feet back in to mountain pose. Whoo, my hips are feeling open now. So take that time to check in with the body. Recollect yourself. That's what mountain pose is there for, to find that stability, that centering of breath and body and mind. All right, we did it. We did Trikonasana, AKA triangle pose. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's, like I said, a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different orientations going on, all the way from the legs to the hips, to the torso, to the arms, to the neck. So a lot going on. If you didn't get it the first time, no worries. That's why it's called a practice. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I hope to see you again next time. Namaste. Mwah.